2025 Commish cast. We got our special guest tonight, the Rampage, with their awesome looking t-shirts. They're already ahead of everyone in this league. And so we'd like to welcome our new team. And I think they're going to do some awesome work this year. I know I'm a little nervous they're in the Georgia Conference. So just saying.
We need to talk about those conference names, as part of this as well. At least name it like East of Georgia or like the South Carolina division kind of.
Yeah.
We've talked about it, yeah.
I mean, I could rename it South Carolina division.
This is totally the South Carolina division now. The Georgia South Carolina division.
Yeah. The GSC conference.
There you go.
Absolutely. So welcome. Yes, as we saw from last month's big announcement with the retirement of the Dreadnoughts, and in came the new Rampage franchise. So Rick, do you want? And certainly, I don't think actually Reagan needs any introduction, considering the multiple times she's won in the kids league championship. But maybe you want to do kind of a thought of your philosophy going in, and what are you excited about with this new franchise?
Sure. No, it'll be a different year. That's for sure. Kind of, splitting from the heroes. So kind of it's been an adjustment so far. So kind of we'll see what happens. Kind of going throughout the, starting with the draft in a couple months, and then going out throughout the year. So it's definitely going to be a different year. First time in I think 22 years that kind of have a new teams all together. So looking forward to it. It's gonna be different, but it'll be fun.
I have a question, Rick. Who do you think is going to be easier to get along with, your daughter or Christopher?
It depends on the day.
I'm sure there was certain things that after like 22 years you kind of can read each other, and each other, and we challenge each other like so. So is Reagan more of a challenger, or is she more of a that sounds good? I mean, that type of thing, and then.
So I mean, I think like the whole family's like into it. So Reagan had her first like actual fantasy football league with her friends last year,
which I won.
Which she won. Despite picking McCaffrey #1 overall, she took it. So we're gonna start a fantasy football league for just the family. I mean, we got enough people here, this year as well.
The kids league.
Will be involved. Ricky and Max will be involved. Mindy's going to be involved. Whether she likes it or not. So I think it's going to be a learning experience for everyone, and kind of approaching it that way, and trying to pass on to the next generation.
Gotcha. Well, that's cool.
I got a question. So where did the Rampage, like what came in?
So no, I mean that's like one of the fun parts of fantasy football or coaching names, is kind of the names and the developing the logos and all that. So wanted to kind of do a nod to some of the historic team names, like Hatton's Heroes, Terry's Terrors, Wayne's Walleye, keep the alliteration. So we had a couple R names in there, but Rampage is, if you remember like the old video game from the 80s. Where kind of the mutants, climb up the buildings and break them out and knock them down, for hours on end. That's kind of where it came from. So I don't know if you can see it in the logo, but kind of this is George, kind of the gorilla holding the BFFL trophy, kind of as part of our logo. So
wow,
I didn't see the BFFL trophy in there. Okay,
yeah.
Wow,
that's awesome.
We might need to see like the Thundercats when they came in and did their 24x36, and had had their Dan, because I know you're listening, and being able to have that and their music. I mean, I don't know if anybody else has ever had an actual theme song. So if there was a Rampage theme song, I'm not sure.
Right. Yeah, we'll think about that. I don't know that. The Thundercats first draft with the roar was kind of annoying after 3 hours. So.
You're right.
I mean, I think with the Rampage you would have to go heavy metal. I mean, like
mean,
that's
some type of heavy metal song.
Metallica. I mean, System of a Down.
Yeah.
I mean, we had
Welcome
a
Sandman,
good playlist. Yeah.
So Reagan, you won the championship last year, and your first pick was CMC. So who actually was your star? Who was your stud that carried you to the championship?
I don't know.
You had Kelsey.
Yeah, I had Kelsey. It was kind of iffy with Kelsey though. It was up and down with him. I honestly forget who I had. I'm gonna be so honest. I know I had Bengals quarterback and receiver, which helped me a lot. So
And Joey B.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's definitely good. Yeah. Okay. So I like that. It's kind of like you took the trophy, like put it in the closet, and you're like, what's next, right?
Yeah.
So. Well, I
the
tell
Scotty
you,
Scheffler approach.
Is
I don't know
that
if you
what-
saw if you saw Scotty Scheffler's interview this past week. It was really fascinating, where he basically said that he's like, I get 5 minutes to celebrate winning a golf tournament, and then it's kind of on to the next one. And he's like, it doesn't make up my whole life. Like if it did, I wouldn't play golf because he loves spending time with his kids and family. So I guess Reagan's got a championship winning attitude then.
and it was funny.
Almost seemed like Scheffler was gonna, retire, just out of the blue, kind of, later this year, and that just like the first step to it.
Yeah, well, I saw Xander Schauffele said literally. I just saw something today where he doesn't keep his trophies. Like his parents asked him, he doesn't even know where his gold medal is, and it's like, wow. I'm like, okay, that's definitely like living in the moment and then moving on. So
Right.
But things are different here in the BFFL. You try to collect as many as you can, and I think Austin, you've got a few back there, so you've got hopefully. So yeah, so hopefully, I guess the one thing in Austin, is there any like advice that you could give to Reagan going from you obviously kids league, a lot of success, and then moved into the adult league? What kind of like advice, just maybe from going from the kids league to the adult league, do you have to give her?
That's a really good question. My first piece of advice would be, don't listen to me because I've never won. And also, I think you've won 4 kids league championships now.
That sounds right.
Yeah. So that's about double what I did. So yeah, that would be my first piece of advice, would be don't listen to anything I have to say. My second piece of advice is, do not let early season losses affect you too much, because I've started 0-3 or 0-4 4 or 5 times now and made the playoffs probably more than half the time that's happened. So I would just say, keep to it, keep your eye on the waiver wire, pay attention to what's going on in the league, and you can make a lot of headway.
All right, sounds good.
Definitely good advice. I mean, that's one of those things I think we all have experienced in terms of just making sure that it's like almost like getting into the playoffs and then it's all new and that type of thing. So just got to strive to get there. So
you want to get there, and anything can happen in the playoffs.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. Yeah, it was, and not to bring up a bad subject, but I was doing the 2024 record keeping actually just a couple of days ago, and it was amazing, Matt. You destroyed everybody. And I know your season last year literally reminded me of the John Austin season when they destroyed everybody that year.
Mm-hmm.
And in both of those,
yeah,
it's the 2 seasons almost,
yeah.
You need
Kelly,
consistent performance all the way through.
Yeah. John and Kelly just got hot. I mean, and I was worried about them because my midseason prediction was like, they're going to make the playoffs, even though they were like 2-5. Because I'm like, they got a really good team. And I mean, I was just like, no offense to Scott and Jeff. Like, I know they're not listening, but I was like, I'd rather play them. John and Kelly are listening. Definitely John. And I was like, I'd rather play them. I'll give them all the credit in the world. I mean, they had a stud backfield, Saquon and Bijan Robinson.
Yeah.
I mean, that was tough to beat.
And we were just having, John, Austin, and I just had a lunch the other day, and when I was going through all the statistics again, I had kind of forgot Baker Mayfield in the second half of the Brickhat Bowl had 5 touchdowns.
Yeah.
I forgot that. I mean, and I was there at the game. I mean, it's just, that's crazy, you know? That's what it could do. Although, like I said, you hope the beauty of a 2-week, you know, has gotten, you know, but
we praised the 2-week a lot, but the team that's won week 1 has won week 2 and won the championship as well.
Yeah.
There's never been a flip flop.
Never
There's
been a
never been
comeback.
yeah.
And, you know, and that was on the spring honors ballot too. It was like to change it back from 2 weeks to 1 week. And I was like, it's probably going to get better down. Like, I mean, I know most people voted to keep it 2 weeks. I mean, I love it. I personally do. Even though I lost, you know, and I lost both weeks, but I was like, I love having that 2 week. And
right. So, and not to get off. So let me ask you there, because I haven't been into one yet. But I mean, I would think that even that first week, I mean, the great part is you were down 1 week and you're like, I still got a shot here.
Yeah.
You know, not knowing what was ahead with Baker, but I mean, it's like, yes, you had this tremendous team. You had Jamar. You were like, I can do this, that kind of thing. So, I mean, that's got to be exciting there, just knowing you've got another week.
And you could do like a wild card pickup. I mean, I picked up the Colts defense because I was like, well, you know, this is they were playing the Giants, and I was like, well, I got a chance. You know, this is my Hail Mary right here, and yeah.
So going back to the new divisions, has there been any trash talk between the Rampage and the Walleye yet? Because I can imagine that there's some history there.
Oh yeah,
it's been very cordial. You know, we're welcoming each other. I mean, it's early. It's very cordial. We appreciate it. You know, Wayne's kind of led that division, so you know, we respect Wayne and the Walleye, and you know, it's a new day though, so kind of we'll see what happens this year.
Yeah, and you are still, I think, technically the tallest, well, probably the person on the earth, but I mean, Jeremy's now, I mean, he's putting, you know, with the head knockers in there now. I mean, so you're not over, like, you know, by much the tallest man in the division. I'll just say that.
Well, I think we can agree that Wayne's the shortest man in the division. So
is that the first shot fired right here?
I think so.
This season?
I don't think so.
I think Wayne will be listening here. So
Wayne will be absolutely.
What do you guys think about y'all's new divisions? Are you guys excited for the new matchups?
Very much so. The draft order picks. I picked 11 right next to Steven, my new division mate, who's picking at 12. So we're gonna dominate that wraparound, and we're gonna be, you know, messing each other's picks up, I'm sure, the entire day. But I've already been texting him about it, just like, get ready, man. Like, I'm, you know, in the past we've been very collaborative, very much like I need you to beat the heroes this week. I need you to beat the Walleye this week. And now it's going to be no holds barred.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And especially for you, Austin. I mean, you're home. You're back in Florida. So I mean, yeah, you definitely, you know, you get the Bandits, you get the Conquerors, but I mean, you're basically playing like your home conference now. So that's gotta feel pretty cool. Yeah,
for sure. I haven't talked to my uncles yet. I'm sure I'll talk to them this weekend when I see them. But yeah, it's definitely like two teams too that have won Brickhat Bowls in the last 5 years. So it's not going to be easy. I'm not saying that. But I think that I can outlast them.
There you go.
Well, I got a tough draw.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
And I tell you,
or you actually, I mean, you're going from a tough division to a tough division, so
yeah,
kind of, I mean, it's gonna be a challenge for y'all.
Yeah. Well, and something that I learned in my study before my time abroad is, in studying football, they've got these like long time like matchups, just like, like century long matchups that they had, and they call them derbies. And so that's kind of what I feel like with John and Frank, who I've known for, over 50 years. I mean, and that's a long time. So it's pretty cool to have, the we'll just call it the Legends, maybe conference, whatever, or division there. We've been around for a while, but it's really neat because, I mean, John, Frank, and I, when we were like Reagan, your age or probably even younger. I mean, we were playing Atari Olympics. We were playing everything we did was always a competition between the three of us. It was always like just everything we did, no matter what, it was a competition. So it's kind of cool to be in that same division and battle it out and see where we go from there. So it'll be neat. And this is probably as close as I'll get to like a Tampa Bay player playing with those guys. So so we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, my division, Doug, I've been playing twice a year for a long time. And Oscar and I, we do a little trash talking. I mean, he was still a little bitter about the playoffs last year. He was like, we would have won in the against you in the championship game if we played you. And I'm like, well, you didn't. Like you lost the week before. Sorry. So that will be fun. I like bantering back and forth with Oscar and Doug, and then Dan and Scott, same thing. Like Dan and I usually text each other the week we play each other. We've been playing once a year. Now we'll get to play twice a year, so it'll be even more fun. So
cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I know we were going to have some, I guess the topics kind of for certainly this month's Commish cast, looking at a couple things. Certainly, I think we'll focus a little bit more still on the Rampage, but we're going to be talking a little bit about kind of the off-season stories, and then maybe everybody can think of like, what kind of their one thing that they have, and then we'll go into the actual kind of predictions, for which is kind of the highlights, because we actually write those down, and we've had some wonderful. I think I picked the Jets to win it all last year, which was
I picked the Cowboys, so.
I picked the Bengals. So there you go.
Three teams that missed the playoffs.
Reagan does have homework. She's got early college over the summer, so she's going to bow out for this. But kind of, she's excited, and kind of, we're super excited to kind of, be the new team in the BFFL.
Bye.
Okay. So Reagan, just before you leave, so what's your prediction for your first year? Do you have a prediction? So
about what?
About like making the playoffs, just beating Wayne.
We're gonna win. Yeah.
Oh, just win, baby.
I like it. Well, she's coming off a win from the kids league. I mean, that's talk about going off with the trophy in hand, going into the adult league. So, well, it's wonderful to have you. We're looking forward to it.
Yes, thank you for having me. It was good to see you all.
Good to see you too. All right. We'll see you in about 6 weeks if you can make it.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye. There you go. The studious young kids. I like that. So, wow, that's good. So I guess maybe we can go into any like I was thinking that the top maybe like topic that we have from the off season in the NFL or BFFL, something like that. So anyone want to start with that?
Well, I think the biggest one of the last month that I can think of would be I think this happened in the last month. I don't think we had a chance to talk about it last time. Maybe we did. Aaron Rodgers signing with Pittsburgh. I'm not sure if we talked about that, but
I don't think we did. And it's funny because my topic was going to be exactly that. It was just going to be the quarterback changes. I mean, when you think of it, Geno, Sam Darnold, Rodgers, Fields. I mean, not huge names except maybe for Rodgers, but I think that's a whole lot of big starters changing. Russell Wilson, that kind of thing. So.
Well, and then the Steelers-Dolphins trade, like right around the same time.
Oh, yeah.
Jonnu and Arthur reunited for the third time. Like,
right.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I don't know. I mean, it's amazing how you can have it'll be really interesting to see. I mean, Geno was obviously like having a resurrection of his career, in Seattle, doing really great, and now he goes to the Raiders. We can see what happens there. He's obviously got your boy Brock to throw to, so that's going to be pretty impressive. But and everybody's obviously trying to figure out whether or not Rodgers actually can, to your point, Austin, whether or not he can be. Again, it's obviously I think going to be his swan song. He's playing for a great coach. They got obviously DK there. So, I mean, I think from that perspective, I guess we'll see if anybody has them go into the playoffs. But, it was quite interesting the way they're throwing out Pickens and the like. I'm not sure any of it made sense, especially with that last trade.
Yeah, the trade was especially crazy to me because I feel like Minkah Fitzpatrick was one of their best defensive players, and they kind of traded for a washed up Jalen Ramsey. No offense to Jalen Ramsey if he's watching, but
he's probably going to be
probably watching.
But they traded for Jalen Ramsey and Jonnu Smith and traded one of their better defensive players away for that, and it didn't seem to make any kind of sense to me. So yeah, I don't really know what's going on with Pittsburgh. And I have more to say about them later on, but Geno, it'll be interesting if Tom Brady, does what his involvement with the Raiders truly is, and if he's like talking to Geno, maybe giving him some tips, maybe helping shape him in his career further. Tom Brady wants to win. He didn't come to the Raiders to build rebuild the team. He wants to get winning as fast as possible. They got Spytek, I think, from the Bucks,
right,
as their GM, he's a great front office guy. The Bucks have too many of those, apparently. And so yeah, I think that'll be interesting. The one to watch for me will be Sam Darnold, and if he can replicate what he did last year and kind of prove that was for real, which we kind of saw fall off a cliff towards the end of the year, especially in the playoffs. I think that'll probably be the more interesting one for me.
Okay. I got a question for you, Matt.
Yes.
When will Kirk Cousins be traded? Or
he won't.
You don't think he'll be traded?
I don't unless somebody gets injured.
Wow.
In the preseason. Maybe, a contending team, quote contending team. I don't think he gets traded. And to be honest with you, I'm not sold on Penix. I've been watching the quarterback.
Okay.
And I would not be surprised Kirk Cousins doesn't start a few games this year.
Wow.
I mean, Penix is injury prone. I mean, we already budgeted for Cousins anyway this year. So I'm like, you have the best backup quarterback in the league.
Yeah.
I mean, I unless somebody, contending team, let's say like Brock Purdy gets hurt in the preseason, I could see like the 49ers. I mean, him and Shanahan, Shanahan's always liked Kirk Cousins, and so they've worked together before. I could really see him just being with the Falcons this year.
What do you think about Penix? How confident are you with him leading the team?
I mean, he's got a great arm. I mean, there's going to be some growing pains, but I mean, the Falcons to me are in a window right now to win. I mean, you got a bunch of young talent on the offense. You just traded away your first round pick next year for a another rookie pass rusher. And I'm like, well, you're in it to win it, so you better win. And I would not be surprised Penix gets benched at some point this year.
I remember the last time I was on the podcast was the 2024 NFL draft.
Yeah.
And the Falcons took Penix, and you were just beside yourself the rest of the night. So,
well, I mean, I was happy with the Falcons drafting Walker from UGA. We never draft a UGA player, and then they trade back in the first round to give up a first round pick next year for Pierce. And I was like, what are we doing? You're just giving away draft capital. But I think they look at it, the front office looks at it like, we're not going to be here next year if we don't make the playoffs.
It's a fair point.
Yeah. Yeah. So let me throw it out to you, Rick. Obviously, there's got to be optimism in Chicago. I mean, you're getting the Wonder Kid. And so, I mean, obviously it's going to be more than a year and stuff like that. But just for that first year, I mean, what's the, expectation? I mean, is it 8 wins? Is it 10 wins? I mean, it certainly can't be 6 wins. I wouldn't think, with all that talent and the Wonder Kid.
I mean, I think the expectations are super high in Chicago, kind of just with all the pains. It's Caleb's second year, Ben's first year, Dennis Allen on the defense. I mean, if we don't make the playoffs, I think there'll be a large disappointment kind of throughout the whole city. So whatever that is, 9-10 wins, throughout the year, I think is kind of, their floor to call it a successful season.
It's certainly a weaker division than last year. I personally think. I think you've got rookie basically rookie JJ McCarthy at the Vikings. The Lions lost a ton of coaching talent, and the Packers, I don't know, they've seemed to not be able to really put it all together. They did draft a first-round wide receiver this year, I believe.
Yeah, they did.
First time they've ever done that or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this would be the time for them to rise.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think the Vikings are very, interesting with JJ McCarthy because, who is he? He's got a great receiving core around him. They gave up on Sam Darnold and Kirk Cousins each of the last 2 years, believing in McCarthy. So kind of they're an unknown, and we'll see how he does. The Lions, for having the two new coaches on the offense and defense, they had a ton of injuries on defense last year. I mean, they were down to like third stringers, coming to the playoffs. So I think they'll still be dangerous, but again, new coaches, what does Goff do without Ben Johnson kind of at the helm? So yeah, no, I agree. Kind of this is the time for the Bears to kind of rise, and I can't have low expectations at this point, kind of with everything that's gone on with getting Caleb and how they did it, and then Ben Johnson. So high expectations, kind of all around in Chicago.
Yeah.
I can see that. I mean, just from the Thanksgiving game, I could see you guys winning 4 more games just because you're head coach.
Yeah,
right.
It doesn't. I think the Bears season went downhill after that Hail Mary. And
it was 100%.
I mean, you guys were like 5-2, and I was like, so the talent's there, and you went out and signed 3 interior offensive linemen too. I mean, which is going to help Caleb. You drafted a receiver in the second round, and a tight end first round. So I mean, the weapons are there for Caleb. So it's on him, and you got probably one of the best offensive minds in football coaching you. So.
Right. And our defense was like top 5 the last half of the season last year, and then bringing in Dennis Allen, another brilliant defensive mind. Again, all the ingredients are there. So.
Yeah. Very good. Absolutely. So you guys got like the same. You got like the weapons. Like, I mean, I feel like we have for the Bucks, except the only thing is we don't quite have the Ben Johnson, mindset, and we're not even as excited as our defensive coach, who is our coach. So it's that's where we're struggling a little bit. We love our talent. We're just not as sold on our coaching staff. So maybe they can surprise us, hopefully.
Yeah. But you're in the right division too. So
Yes. We should be getting a bye twice a year with the Saints, but hey, we almost blew that last year twice, so against the Saints, which is crazy. We figured out the Bucks, and they've done this literally for 50 years, 50th year being this year. They play to the level of their competition. I mean, we literally beat Philadelphia. We beat what's that other team that
they lost 2 games last year?
Detroit. Yeah, there they go. And basically had Kansas City beat in Kansas City, except for our coach. So we have the ability. And San Francisco, even though they weren't stellar last year, they're still a great team. We just play to whatever the team's level is. So yeah. So we'll see.
And you guys might not face Kirk Cousins this year, so it might be okay.
I know. Trust me. It was so painful. It was so painful. So it's just we just have to just. Yes. Yeah. So, very painful.
I'll throw something out there. Biggest coaching change, like head coach. Who do you think is going to make the biggest impact as a new head coach? I mean, I know it kind of Ben Johnson. We already kind of led into that. But...
Yeah, I tell you, I'm curious just because, and I'll just go with Liam Cohen because I was very passionate about him. I really wanted him as the Bucs head coach. I like his obviously his ingenuity. The offense that he rolled out in Tampa was amazing. He's going to have a great group of weapons. certainly in Jacksonville. And I know he's not going to be as conservative as we were in Tampa. So I think that's going to be big. I mean, again, I don't expect it for them in year one either, but I do expect Trevor Lawrence to be better than the, blank where he was the last couple of years. So I think he's definitely going to be better. I'm not sure if he's a superstar, but I definitely think he's got the ability to certainly do it, and he's got the weapons for sure. So I'll say Liam.
All right.
Trying to think who else is new head coach.
I'll let you buy some time. I'm gonna throw Pete Carroll out there. I mean, it's a short-term thing.
Yeah.
I mean, he's bringing some stability to the Raiders. I don't think they'll make the playoffs this year. I mean, they're in it's a really tough division. But
yeah,
I'll kind of like, with Harbaugh with the Chargers last year. I know they made the playoffs, but I said last year you don't want to play the Chargers.
Yeah.
Late in the season because Harbaugh's a winner. I think Pete Carroll, short term. He'll bring some stability. If I was a team, like my playoff berth was on the line week 16, week 17, wouldn't want to play the Raiders. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Yeah, and I mean, Pete's the oldest, obviously, head coach in the league, but I just love how fired up he gets because I honestly think that translates to your players. I really do. And even though my favorite coach of all time still always will be Tony Dungy, even though he wasn't that type, I just think that just having those type of coaches, I think it just directly fires up. I mean, look at Detroit and Dan Campbell and the like. It's so that will definitely be what Pete Carroll is. He fires them up for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I think, I agree with all that. I think mine's probably going to be Mike Vrabel in New England. I don't think that they'll be a playoff team necessarily, but I like Mike Vrabel as a head coach. I think he's another one of those guys that knows how to talk to players and get players to play for him. And I think that he will also provide some stability that the Patriots organization has been desperately needing the last few years. I think that we've kind of seen how Brady and Belichick kind of papered over a lot of holes in how that organization was run. And their time post those two has been a struggle, to say the least. So I'm thinking that he'll get in there and they'll be a respectable team at least. I don't think that they'll be a team that will ever just, cave in completely and fall over. So it'll be really interesting.
Did you see the Belichick and Kraft are still sniping at each other today?
Yeah.
I did not see that.
When they say something like it was
started, 20 years ago.
Yep. He said something like was it Kraft that said it was a risk to hire Bill Belichick, something to that effect?
Yeah.
It's well, I mean, honestly, it's no duh. I mean, honestly, the guy resigned from the Jets before he even stepped foot on. I mean, come on. I mean, and then for Belichick to take, dude. I mean, you didn't have the best reputation, before they hired. I mean,
I guess winning does some things to some people, and to them, I think it's just, I don't know, too big of egos that became even more massive with all three of them, Brady, Belichick, and Kraft. And Bill Belichick the last couple of years. I mean, I know this isn't NFL related, but I am dying to watch North Carolina this year because I cannot see that going well at all.
Third or fourth game, his girlfriend is going to be calling plays from the sideline.
100%.
I mean,
Yeah, that's going to be a little scary. I agree. I don't know how this translates unless you've got a bunch of I wouldn't say underperforming, but that people that Belichick can rise to a different level. I mean, look at Deion. I mean, he took a team that had one win the year before, and then they ended up, skyrocketing. I mean, there's something to be said about that.
Transfer portal. I mean, college, you can turn it around a little bit quicker now.
Yeah.
Transfer portal. And then just the NIL money. It's just crazy. Who was saying, I guess Johnny Manziel came out hey, I would have just stayed in if I had NIL money. Why not? Be in college, have the college life. And so I don't know.
I told Christopher yesterday, you could be Diego Pavia for Vandy who said this week that he didn't stay in college just to go 7-6. He wants to win the national championship. So, I mean, hey man, let's do it. Why
Shoot
not?
for the stars, Daniel.
Got to go through
I
a certain town in South Carolina, I think. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a good one. So before predictions and such like that, I know also we got a pretty big year coming up here in the BFFL, and it was kind of funny. It honestly didn't hit me until on Tuesday when we were having this lunch that the Buccaneers are having their 50th anniversary, and we're having our 35th anniversary. I mean, we're only like 15 years younger than these guys. I mean, that's pretty impressive. So, which means we're like probably, I think, older than the Jaguars.
Gotta be.
I think we are. Yeah. So, which is pretty impressive too. So, we're hoping. I guess one of the things I'll reveal as part of my kind of responsibilities and assisting Matt here in the BFFL as the legacy chair, we're going to reveal during the first several weeks of the league. We're going to reveal based on statistics and not voting this time, but based on statistics, we're going to reveal the all BFFL 35th anniversary team. So based on statistics like top 5 scoring, number 1 scoring, Pro Bowls, MVPs, Pro Bowl victories, Pro Bowl MVPs, those type of stats, I'm just going to assign some number values to it and then just kind of let it statistically play out. So that's going to be one thing. And I thought it was, as I started to do some of that stuff, which I can do now because I don't have a job, I looked at some of this, and this is what was really interesting. So I started to assemble some of these stats. So who just retired besides me from the NFL? Played for both the Bucs and the Falcons.
Ward Dunn? Not Ward Dunn. No.
That was the first name that came to my mind too.
Yeah.
Who just retired?
He played like wideout, wide receiver, would go long.
Julio Jones?
Julio Jones.
Oh.
So Julio Jones just officially retired. And so I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to, just see where he stands. So I was just doing some because I was also getting ready in the next, 2 weeks, I guess. We get ready for our first football game, the Hall of Fame game. So I'm putting together the Hall of Fame ballot. So Julio Jones, pretty good NFL career, right?
Mm-hmm.
Going to get into the Hall of Fame. And so I'm looking at some of the others in it because I was putting together again the ballot. And I will compare him to, I don't know, Jimmy Graham, who is, hasn't officially retired yet, but Jimmy Graham and Julio Jones, their last year was 23. Julio was officially retired. So top 5 scorings. So that means in your position, you've been in the top 5. So Julio Jones versus Jimmy Graham. Who do you think has more?
I say Jimmy Graham just because.
Got to be. Yeah, he's a tight end.
Okay, Jimmy Graham. Yeah, Jimmy Graham was, certainly. So, but the amount. Jimmy Graham was in the top 5 6 times. Julio Jones, 1 time. One time. How many times? Pro Bowls, just Pro Bowls. Jimmy Graham, Julio Jones.
It's probably 6-5 again, or 6-1 again.
Well, probably, but it was 4-0. Now I know I kind of threw out. So Julio Jones had 1 top 5, no Pro Bowls. He was never a number 1 scorer, and not even the recap. I mean, Julio Jones, which was this dominant wide receiver in his career, which, by the way, expand the length of the BFFL. So I don't know. I thought that was amazing that Julio Jones of all this. Now Jimmy Graham, obviously, because he was a stud, and tight ends obviously got a little bit of extra and stuff, but still just separation from those. So just be on the lookout. I just wanted to throw that out as I'm coming out. I just thought that was pretty amazing. All right, here we go. One last one because I like statistics. Dalvin Cook or Zeke Elliott? All right, who has more top 5s?
I'll say Dalvin Cook.
Dalvin Cook, yeah.
Played long.
I'll say Zeke.
Okay. It was a trick question. They both had 2.
Okay.
But still, All right. I would have thought Zeke. Of course, we had him for a while and we loved him. So, all right. So Dalvin Cook, Zeke Elliott, in terms of the overall between Brick Hat Bowls and #1 scorers, Dalvin Cook or Zeke Elliott?
Still say Zeke.
That one might
I'll say
actually be
Dalvin.
Zeke.
I'll say Dalvin just because.
Yeah, I thought it was Zeke too. Zeke did not have a Brick Hat Bowl win or a #1 score. Dalvin had #1 score and had a Brick Hat Bowl win. I mean,
Wow.
I know. I was very, very surprised. So, and all of that, Odell Beckham Jr., 3 top 5s, 3 Pro Bowls, more than Dalvin or Zeke. So it's crazy. So, all right.
That one is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Odell Beckham.
I know. I thought, Odell was kind of up and down. I thought Zeke's was like this. So I thought literally Zeke was like the mini Emmett, but the stats don't quite say it. But we'll have to see what the other statistics say. So
that'll be very interesting because I feel like that's a place where someone like Mike Evans, who obviously I'm biased and think he is a no doubt first ballot Hall of Famer. He's someone who like consistently gets 1,000 yards, consistently gets 10 touchdowns. Like he might not ever have the year where he gets 1,800 yards and 15 touchdowns, but he's always going to be a consistent top 10 scorer. But I don't know if he'll end up with like any kind of MVP votes or any top 5s or anything like that. Whereas I would consider him like a surefire fantasy football Hall of Fame kind of player.
Well, look at Fitzy in our league. I mean, Fitzgerald.
that's Larry Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
Didn't even make same thing. He and Julio Jones basically the same, which is just kind of mind-boggling to me. So, but yeah, so I just had to share that, and we are preparing. And actually, Austin, I'm going to run. I can't say it because we're actually on camera, but there is going to be a special. So I could say the fun part. There is going to be a special 35th anniversary gift that each of the teams gets to take home this year. It goes off like hopefully playing. It's a good idea. And I did take your idea, Austin.
Yeah.
And so I sent it to the folks to see if they could do it that way.
Okay, cool.
So we'll see. So
Is it T-shirts? Are we getting T-shirts?
it is not T-shirts. I'm hoping we all get Rampage shirts though. Just pass those out.
Be careful. I mean, we can do it. We can make it happen.
Hey, Rick, I think you should make a bet with the Walleye, and if the Walleye lose to you guys, they got to wear Rampage shirts on camera.
All right, hey Wayne, Wayne, what's the counter? That's a great bet. So
Yeah,
we'll wait for Wayne's response. Hopefully, it's a video response.
yes,
Might be you guys have to go fishing and catch a walleye.
yeah.
And then eat it for dinner.
Yeah.
we did that a couple times in the Brick Hat Bowls. I'll just say that.
Right.
So.
Or we'll design Walleye a new logo. His logo is kind of lacking as well. So that's my offer, Wayne. So
There you go. I like that. So, all right. What do we want to get into predictions?
Yeah.
Sure.
Commish, do you want to decide how this goes?
All right, we'll start out. Well, I guess you pick your division winners, AFC, and we'll pick the wild card. From each conference, we'll go division, wild card, NFC wild card, division winners. And then we'll do AFC championship game, NFC championship game, Super Bowl. I don't know if y'all want to do an MVP pick or you want to wait till August for that.
We don't want to give away our #1 pick, do we?
Okay. Well, I don't.
Aaron Rodgers.
Or you could do surprise. I say surprising and disappointing teams from each conference.
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay.
I have all that.
All right. So, who wants to kick off AFC division winners?
Should we go division by division?
Yeah.
We'll each say, okay. Well, I have in the AFC North, I have Baltimore winning the AFC North. I think that they're still just consistent. There's a lot of reliability behind the players and the staff there. to win a lot of games in the regular season. I think a lot of the other teams in that division have enough holes that I think that it's just, I don't see a turnover at the top there.
No, I agree. I had the Ravens just because consistency, John Harbaugh, Lamar State, Lamar, Derrick Henry, their defense is solid. I mean, it's just a program they have there to me, and it's just year in, year out. You can count on them. They're a tough out.
I'll agree totally. Harbaugh, and I mean, just the consistency. So no doubt.
Yep. Agree. Harbaugh and Lamar. I mean, tops of the division.
Yeah. And no matter what, they'll have a tough defense. I don't care what. They could lose everybody, and they'll still have a tough defense. That's that's crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of in their DNA. Like it's something that
Yeah.
we kind of, used to think of as Tampa as this, every year, no matter what, we'd have a good defense. That kind of identity faded, but Baltimore, it's just every year.
It's just physical toughness to me. Like when I think of the Baltimore Ravens, I just think like it's 3 hours. You're just gonna get beat up, by playing them.
They beat the crap out of us on Monday Night Football last year.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, literally and figuratively, unfortunately.
And Derrick Henry doesn't seem to be slowing down, really. Like
Benjamin Button, man, crazy.
So, all right. Well, AFC East, I have the Bills. I mean, they're just too good for everyone in that division. I mean, the rest of that division, too many question marks. As long as Josh Allen stays healthy, year in, year out, got him in there.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's no doubt. I mean, and especially because the division is so weak, I think you're gonna see them be focused on getting the most wins so they can. I mean, remember this is the last year at Old Rich Stadium, so they're going to be wanting to have all of the playoff games go. I mean, can you imagine the last game if it's an AFC Championship game closing down Rich Stadium? So I think they're going to be really motivated this year.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting you should say that, Christopher, because I kind of agree on that track. I think that like I said earlier about the Patriots, I think that they'll be better, but I don't think that they have what it takes to compete with Buffalo at all. I don't think that Miami or the Jets do either. I think that Buffalo, it's hard to have that many good seasons in a row and say like the window's closing, and they still come out and they compete, but there's got to be, I don't know, it's got to break at some point. I feel like of just they've been so good for such a long time, and like you said, Josh Allen's unbelievable. That I think that this has got to be their time.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go against Gray, and I'll take the Dolphins. Just another year of McDaniel. I mean, if they stay healthy, it's everyone. But they have so many weapons on offense. If they can, step up on defense, stay healthy, I think they can give the Bills a run for their money.
Wow. I mean, I would have, I could see that 2 years ago. I wonder if McDaniel's lost the locker room, like they said. So I don't know. He's like the mad scientist, but just the way that but again, if maybe it was just the Tua injury and stuff like that, but Jonnu and stuff like that said. So
I mean,
they
can be good with Tua, but I mean, the guy gets hurt every year. I hate that, but
yeah,
I mean,
that's the number one issue for me with them. I do think they'll be good, but there's this consistency lacking. Like we talked about with Buffalo or with Baltimore, and how they're just like consistent. You know what you're going to get when they show up to play. Miami, I don't know if it's because of injuries or because of coaching or whatever it is, but they just seem to lack that ability to have that kind of killer instinct to be consistent enough to beat the Bills in a division. So yeah, that's how I kind of feel about that.
But you never know. I mean, I was there in Buffalo with Miami. They needed a 61-yard field goal to beat Miami on the last play. So
yeah,
and that was without Tua, that kind of thing. So yeah,
it's a good point.
All right. AFC South. I think this is kind of a weird division this year.
You want to lead?
I'll go Jaguars. I mean, you mentioned it's your coach, Liam Cohen. Give Trevor Lawrence an offensive mind, and watch him break out. I know you got the Texans there with Stroud in his third year and their defense, but I'll see what Liam can do in Jacksonville and kind of turn their fortunes around.
Yeah, I agree with Rick on that one. I have the Jaguars as well. Just Liam Cohen, I think, he's a brilliant offensive mind. I don't think he gets enough credit. Everybody's like Ben Johnson, but I'm like, Liam Cohen's pretty brilliant as well. And the talent's there for that team. They've just been weird the last couple of years. And I mean, that division, I think 9 wins can get it. Houston, I mean, 2 years ago, I would have said, man, they're going to be good for a while. They get rid of their offensive coordinator last year. I mean, you can see, people stay healthy there. Colts, I think, is a dumpster fire waiting to happen.
Hey, Daniel Jones, dude, the savior's coming back. I mean, coming.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones and Anthony Richardson might be one of the worst quarterback rooms in NFL history.
I mean, it's like, wait a minute. You draft Anthony Richardson top 5. The guy couldn't make reads in college. I'm like, he started 10 games at Florida.
He was terrible.
Yeah. And then crazy. You had the Titans with a rookie quarterback. I mean, I like Cam Ward. I think the Titans have something going, but I think Jacksonville has the most talent.
I'll cut against the grain then. I think it's going to be the Texans. I like CJ Stroud. I think that he was my dark horse MVP pick last year. Obviously that didn't really work out. But I do love oh man, why am I blanking on his name? I think he's a top 5 wide receiver right now, and I've completely forgotten his name.
Nico Collins.
Nico Collins, thank you. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
He is electric to watch. So good. If he stays healthy all year, and CJ Stroud stays healthy all year, I think that they can beat the Jaguars. I mean, the Jaguars. I do think this will be like, it might go down to week 17 where they're both like 8-8, and it's who's going to get that 9th win. I like Brian Thomas on the Jags too, but I think that the Texans are going to pull this one out.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna go with my man Liam and just think that, like I said, it'll be fun to see what they can do with, again, a whole lot of talent, and what everybody thought that probably Urban Meyer was going to do, I think you're going to see actually Liam do that. So should be fun.
Yeah, I might still just be salty because of how all that transpired, but
that's fun. So we're gonna go wild cards
or AFC West.
Oh, the West. You're right. Well, I'll go with there. I'm gonna not just because of my lovely and such like that, but
Your co-owner.
My co-owner, yes, exactly. I guess I should lead with that. My co-owner first. The Chiefs. I think honestly, you almost never see whatever the talent level is, and we were just talking about this the other day. It's like ownership. We were talking about like with the Rays and such like that, but in football it's certainly important. But obviously the coach is just so much more than important than like even a manager. I believe the coaches are just, and you've got the best one in the league. So Andy Reid, no matter what, I mean, you don't have to even have the talent, but they have a way of, they just re-signed just before the franchise tag did their one of their key tackles. So I think being able to have not only Mahomes, they've got an infusion of some new talent. It'll be theirs to lose, but the division's getting better. I think, we were talking about that earlier. Certainly, the Chargers with Harbaugh, no doubt, they're just, they got some great talent. And obviously Denver, I will just be the first to say, and I'm going to say it here, I was so wrong on Bo Nix, just like Jared Goff. I love to admit when I'm wrong, because I never thought Bo Nix, and there he was. He wiped Tampa up on, we were watching the game, and I was just like, how did that happen?
The worst game I've ever been to.
Oh, I know. And then, just look what, they did basically to kind of, knock Cincinnati out of the playoffs. It was crazy. That kind of thing was unbelievable. So I think you've got just some talent there, and again, the Raiders are obviously going to be good, but it's going to be maybe the best or most fun division to watch.
I'll agree with you on the Chiefs. I think that, I mean, I'm sure this has been said before, but it's kind of underrated how big an impact it was losing Rashee Rice for the entire season. Mahomes,
Tell us about that.
Yeah, Mahomes, please, no more going to tackle people in interceptions. Dude, unbelievable. And that just kind of that hampered their offense. I think Xavier Worthy is going to be better. He showed what he could do in the Super Bowl. He had a fantastic game. He's, unbelievably talented player. I think this might be Travis Kelce's last ride, and so he's going to go all out. So yeah, I think it's still the Chiefs for now.
I was going to say, just look at the head coaching talent in this division now. Certainly Andy Reid, Pete Carroll moving in with the Raiders, Jim Harbaugh, and Sean Payton. Christopher, you said, the division's catching up to the Chiefs. They're still the top dogs. Just to be a little different, I'll go Jim Harbaugh and the Chiefs. Say that they can, knock them off. For whatever reason, I'm still salty that the Bears never interviewed Harbaugh a couple of years ago. He wanted to go to Chicago because of the Bears president, kind of when they were both back in the Big Ten. So I love Jim Harbaugh, even back kind of when he was a player. So, they have the quarterback too, the running game in place. So I'll say the Chargers take the division.
Yeah, I'm with Rick on that one. And I'm still salty the Falcons never offered Jim Harbaugh a contract instead of hiring Raheem Morris. That's a different story. I looked at, for this one, I was kind of looking at schedules. Chiefs' first 10 games. I mean, I know they're playing a tough schedule. They got a lot of short weeks this year. Chargers, you look at their schedule like halfway through the, starting after about week 4 or 5, very soft schedule for a while. And Harbaugh's a winner. I mean, he's won really everywhere he's went.
Yeah.
And, the Chiefs had a lot of one-score wins last year. And, I mean, just law of averages, I think, it's going to bring him back down a little bit. And I think the Chargers win the division.
I could totally see that. I think it's, 4 arguably Hall of Fame. One for sure. But the other 3 have a case as well to be, some of the greatest coaches in NFL history that I can think of.
You got 3 Super Bowl winning coaches.
Yeah.
Harbaugh went to a Super Bowl. He won a national championship. Pete Carroll won a national championship.
Yeah.
I mean,
they know football. Football.
It's a lock and loaded division. That's for sure.
Yep.
All right. Wild card teams. Here's 3 wild card teams. AFC.
I'll throw out and just from a rapid fire. I think we've talked about what the division is. So I'm going to throw out the Chargers and Denver and then Cincinnati. Cincinnati, was right on the cusp there. So I just think that although, as Austin said yesterday, they could easily, they're like with Hendrickson probably maybe or maybe not coming back. It might be a case where they're going to have to outscore everybody just to get in. But I think that they've got the talent, and if Zach Taylor can get things under control there, it's not the best franchise in the world, but they just got so much talent. So I'm thinking them, and then again the Chargers in Denver. Again, that amazing division is just too good. So
yeah, I put wild card. I flipped Chiefs instead of Chargers, and I have the same 2 teams. I was kind of on the fence about the Bengals just because their defense, horrible. I mean, it was bad last year. They do have a new DC. I think it was Notre Dame's defensive coordinator last year. So, make a few tweaks. Let's say they get middle of the road in defense. I mean, their offense is so loaded. I mean, it is ridiculous. And so I just think Joe Burrow will them to some wins this year as well. And so Chiefs, Broncos, Bengals, wildcard teams.
I like it.
Yeah.
I have Cincinnati as well. I also have the Chargers, and I have Miami as my third I don't have Denver. I have Miami.
Okay.
This is an offensive league, right? Like three teams that play good offense. Maybe they have defensive issues, but you know that they're going to try to score 30 points every game. So yeah, I mean, Joe Burrow is a perennial MVP candidate. If they made the playoffs last year, he should have been the MVP. But I get that you can't really make the MVP someone not on a playoff team. But he was their entire team. Like without him, they would have been 3-14. So I got to stick with the Bengals there. And yeah, the Chargers, I think they're just going to be solid. They're going to win 10, 11 games. Miami's the real wild of the wild cards for me. But I liked Rick's points, and I agreed with him that I think that they too also have a ton of offensive talent. If Tua can stay healthy for once, then, which is a tall order, then yeah, I think that they'll sneak out that last wild card spot.
And just because they're jerseys, I think they'll win 3 games. I'm just saying.
I think my wild card teams are then like Bills, Chiefs, and the Bengals were going to be my 7th team in, much for the same reasons: Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. Again, they have the talent on the offense, and they can win shootouts.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Move on to the NFC.
Yeah, let's go NFC. All right, NFC East. I got Philly. I mean, they're just stacked. I mean, you just look at that team, and it's just like all pro. I mean, I think they won't have as many wins as they did last year, but I mean, they're just so loaded, ridiculous.
They find guys too, like Zach Bond last year.
I mean, they draft SEC players. I'm like, yeah, there's a reason. So.
Yeah, I'll go Philly as well for a lot of the reasons you stated. I know they lost their offensive coordinator, but Jalen Hurts, has worked with 3 or 4 different offensive coordinators at this point, and they've been good all along. And they'll lose 2 games early in the season, and everyone will call for Sirianni's head and say this is the end of the Eagles, and then they'll end up going 13-4 or something like that. So
hopefully one of those is week 4 in Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I hope so too. But without Tristan Wirfs, that's going to be terrifying.
Yeah. Although the good news is, I mean, they lost a lot of defensive talent in free agency. So,
yeah.
But they reloaded. So, but yeah, definitely the Eagles. I don't think I think they're going to be super tough.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. Hurts, Saquon, Devonta, AJ Brown, they're loaded. Especially in that division. I mean, Washington's coming up. But yeah, they can't compete with the Eagles yet.
Yeah. All right. NFC North. I got the Packers this year. I think they're talented. I think Detroit comes back down to earth. Lost both coordinators. The Vikings got a question at quarterback. I just think the Packers, they have so much depth now. I think they're just going to be really good. 13, 14 wins for them.
I mean, I'm going Bears. We're all in. If this doesn't work out, I don't know what. I need to find a new team. So much for the same reasons. Lions have the new coordinators. How does Goff operate? JJ McCarthy in Minnesota is kind of a question mark. Jordan Love, he's he'll be the biggest competition and kind of at that point in the North. But kind of all in on the Bears.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to go just Detroit just because, I mean, they do have a lot of talent. And if it wasn't for Dan Campbell, I wouldn't be saying this. But I think it's kind of a last hurrah. But you're getting, Aiden Hutchinson back. And I think you're going to a couple of these guys are just going to will them to be. And they've got a lot of talent. I don't think that Jared Goff is that good. But yes, Jared, you find a way. And maybe without Ben Johnson, he doesn't do quite as well. I think it's going to be a very tough. It's going to be like 12 wins, 11 wins, 11-10. That'll be very much evident. But I think it's ultimately going to be, again, probably one of the best ones. But I think because of their loss, I think they were really thinking they were going to go. They were looking past Washington. They were looking at basically the Lombardi Trophy coming down, Detroit, and I think they got like punched in the face a little bit. And you're going to have the Campbells, the Hutchinsons that are not going to let them fall too far. So it could be anybody's game, but I'm going to get Detroit.
I'm also going to go Detroit. I agree with you, Christopher, in that I think that this division is going to be a bloodbath. I think it's going to be a mess all year. I think every team is, possibly going to go 1-1 against every other team. There's a real chance of that. Like I think the NFC, it's the last few years, it's been like, man, there's so many good AFC teams. I think this year there's going to be a lot of really strong NFC teams, which, we all like because we're all NFC fans, but it's going to be a fun season, I think, in the NFC. So I have the Lions. I like you said, their talent that they've managed to maintain, even if they've lost some on the coaching side, I think that their talent's good enough to get them to 12 wins alone. So yeah, I'm gonna go Lions. I think the Bears will do a lot of learning though. We'll get some of that.
It's our first division with 3 different picks for the winner.
Yeah. All right, NFC South. I'm going with the team on Christopher's shirt. I think you guys are going to be really good this year. I mean, just offensively, it's an offensive league. I know you're not sold on Todd Bowles, and that's okay. Just hide him when it comes to crunch time. But I love Baker. I really do. I mean, the guy's a leader. I think he's kind of come into his own with you guys. I mean, he's so comfortable now. I mean, the guy was like shotgunning beers at that celebrity golf tournament.
Bad day to beat beer.
But like if he was doing that at Cleveland, everybody would have been like, "Oh, that's Party Boy Baker." But now to me, I'm like, he's a dad. He's settled down. I think he's found a home in Tampa.
Yeah.
And I mean, you got stud receivers. You got a stud running back, Bucky Irving. I think the defense will be decent enough, and I just think the Falcons have too many question marks. And I'm not sold on Raheem. I mean, him just standing there like when we were playing Washington, when we hit that last drive in regulation, and I'm like, what are we doing? You're not even calling timeout. You have a couple timeouts. I just think there's going to be too much of a circus here in Atlanta this year.
Wow. Well, I guess I'll back you up, Matt. I have a question for you guys. Who was the one team in the NFL that made the playoffs last year that had a negative turnover differential? So they turned the ball over more than they had turnovers.
Bucks?
This is Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Wow.
They were -5 turnover differential last year, and they made the playoffs.
Really?
So
I knew we
a lot of that
actually turned the ball over, so we probably turned it over 15 times and got 5. Or
we had 21 turnovers, so 16 picks and 5 fumbles, including the Bucky Irving one against Atlanta, brutal. And we only had 6 interceptions and 11 fumble recoveries. So
6 interceptions. That's crazy.
6 and 10 maybe. I don't know.
That's wild.
In any case,
wow.
A lot of turnover differential. Like when you see a team that's maybe overperforming, a lot of that can come down to in the NHL they say puck luck, or in this case it's kind of ball luck. And I think that there should be more of an emphasis, hopefully, to make some of those big splash plays. Hopefully Antoine Winfield's fully recovered from his injury, and the defense can get some pressure with the front 4 alone so that the DBs have time to actually make some plays. And so this has all the recipes of either being one of the best Bucs seasons ever or being one of the biggest disappointment seasons ever. But I'm gonna go with the Bucs winning the division.
Yeah, I'll agree. I'm just looking at the division. I don't know who challenges the Bucs. They have the weapons, on offense, and who would have thought that Baker Mayfield is going to be, was going to be a benefit to being a quarterback on an NFL team, or we talking about him in the positive. 10 years ago when he was with Cleveland. So I think Bucks.
Yeah, I'll go there. I think we can win the division. And just I'm 95% of the time always an optimist. So I just it's actually really great to hear that statistic, Austin, because all you need to do is like literally start getting like a ball hawk I would think that you could just be in the right place at the right time, pick off more than 6 passes in a year.
Yeah.
So just shocking. So I think from that perspective, maybe that helps us at least get to the point where we'll win the division. So I will say that yes, I agree. I think we'll win the division, but it's getting beyond that I'd like to see, but we'll see in the next round of our picks.
All right. NFC West, I got the 49ers. Soft schedule. They only play 3 playoff teams. Health last year was horrible for them. I think getting Robert Saleh back as their DC, it's going to be big. Give me the Niners. There you go, Wayne.
There you go. There you go. I'll go Rams. I think when and again I was the one who infamously said that when the Walleye picked Devontae Adams and such like that, and he was over the hill, and he obviously proved that last year and the year before that he's not, and now going to a team with an over the hill quarterback, right? I mean, these guys will find a way, and then the Austin all time find of the year with Puka is just. They've got a lot of talent, and the running back, Williams. And then, honestly, I think the reason for me is just, Sean McVay. I think for me, you get a coach who's fired up and smart. I mean, those are the things I like. I mean, he'd be in my top 3 of like who I'd want to like actually my son to, play for, that kind of thing. So I think the Rams are going to take advantage, even though that, you don't have Aaron Donald anymore, but I think they're going to find a way.
I'm with you, Christopher, 100%. I think that this is going to be a really good year for the Rams. I mean, if you think about last year, they lost by 1 score to Philly in a snow bowl in Philadelphia, like as hostile an environment as you can get, with a team that no one thought would be there at that point in the season. So, I really like the Rams this year. I think that they've got all the pieces, and like you said, so much of this league comes to coaching, and Sean McVay is definitely one of the best coaches in the NFL.
Yeah, I agree on the Rams. I think they've got 1 or 2 years left till their window closes. McVay's talking about hanging it up at the end of every year to be with his family, and the Scotty Scheffler discussion as well. Matt Stafford's 37, 38. So kind of his, he's kind of at his peak now. Puka, Kyron Williams in the backfield. Again, they've got all the ingredients there. Just need the ball to bounce a couple of different ways. So I'll go with the Rams.
I like it. Wildcard teams. NFC wildcard teams.
Rick, you want to say?
I'll say Lions, Niners, and then the Commanders as the third wildcard team.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Niners as well. I didn't disagree with you, Matt, with what you were saying. They have the easiest strength of schedule right now. I think they'll be much better than they were last year. I trust Kyle Shanahan to win enough games to get them to the playoffs. Maybe nothing past that, but but I think they'll be good, and they don't have this lingering Christian McCaffrey injury hanging over their heads, at least as far as I know right now.
Yeah. You never know. It might surprise us
week one.
Yeah. Well, and the problem is I'm seeing him go like number 11 in all these drafts. I'm like, I cannot pick Christian McCaffrey. I could pick. It could be like the Fusion that year where it's like,
if he was last of 11,
if he was at 11,
I would God. I've seen him 6 and 7, but 11, that's too much.
That's a steal right there.
I've seen that a few places. I don't know. It would be one of those. It's like you either win the league or lose.
Hey, but consider. I mean, hey, if you're going to have that type of ticket there,
I'm not too opposed to that.
I'd take the risk.
And then I also have Washington. I think they'll be good. I think Jaden Daniels stunned me last year with how good he was. I was not anticipating him to be at that caliber, already. Week one, he was like,
Dan Quinn's influence,
Yeah.
kind of with Commanders, kind of his second or third time being a head coach, and Jaden coming in. I thought that was big for Jaden.
Totally. There was zero chatter about like any lack of faith in his ability or anything like that. Like, no offense, Rick, but there was so much last year about Caleb Williams and like, is he going to be blah, 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 all this hanging over his head that I'm sure got to him. And Jaden Daniels had none of that and was an absolute superstar. So yeah, I think that they'll make it back to the playoffs again. And then my third team is Chicago. I'm really excited for the Bears. I've got a couple Bears fans friends. So I'm really rooting for them too. One of my Bears fans friends works for the Washington Wizards in DC, who's just like one of they've just been terrible for so long. And so he really needs a win. I need the Bears to win for his sake.
There you go. Yeah, I've got a really good friend that's a big Bears fan too. So, so I've got I'll go Commanders, Bears, and Packers. I think without a doubt, again, that division, just that's for me, both AFC and NFC. You got two divisions with three playoff teams. I wouldn't want to be in those divisions. It's brutal, but the talent's there. And yeah, I agree with you. Whether they're the Commanders or the Redskins, we'll see how that ends up. But I think that they certainly showed us in Tampa, what it takes, and then to go on and do what they did, knock out the big bully in Detroit was a shocker. So yeah, I've got them going far, as you'll see.
So no 49ers, Christopher?
No 49ers. I'm not sure who's catching the football. And question maybe running back. I don't believe in their coach at all. I've said that. I mean, he finds a way to lose. So and as much as I love this guy, I mean, I'm seeing some of the moves they've made. I want to get Wayne all riled up. So I got to figure out some way to get him all fired up. So I'm thinking he's probably watching now.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah. 83 minutes in. Let's see.
Yeah. He skipped ahead to where we started talking about the.
Yeah. So my wildcard teams, I got Rams, Lions, and Bears. It's my three wildcard teams. Like I said, I think the Lions take a step back a little bit. I think the Bears, if they're going to do something, it's going to be this year. They've gone all in, on Caleb Williams. He's still on that rookie contract. We'll see. I think you're going to see some results. They've won. They're the offseason champs the last 2 years. So hey, let's
3 years.
3 years. Okay, so it's going to start paying dividends. All right.
Defending.
So I think this is their year. So to get in the playoffs.
All right. Is it a championship game?
Yeah.
Time.
I think so.
We'll start AFC Championship game.
All right.
Go ahead, Austin.
I have Buffalo over Cincinnati. I have Buffalo as my number 1 seed in the AFC, and I have them having the bye. I have them beating the Chargers at home, who beat Kansas City in my simulation, and then beating Cincinnati, Josh Allen against Joe Burrow, AFC Championship game, last game at Highmark Stadium. Or whatever. What's it?
It's Highmark. Yeah, I just call it Ridge Stadium.
Yeah. And going off to the Super Bowl from that.
All right, I'll say the same thing with, except I'm going with Buffalo winning, closing down the stadium, but beating the Ravens, in kind of a classic there. I think honestly that maybe Buffalo might be the better team just because of the head coach, but I think the storybook ending, at least in the AFC, would be, just it's too good. Closing down the stadium, Superman Josh Allen will find them a way. They've got some good talent all the way around. Getting rid of people like Stephon Diggs, I think made them better. It's just all Buffalo. As long as James Cook, which I think he'll come around, and you just got the I think Sean McDermott is somebody that can get them there, but in reality, I mean, the Bills are Josh Allen, and I think he takes them there.
Just no more tush pushes from the Bills, please.
Yes.
Even though the NFL finally listened to me and implemented my football chip idea, but
that's the reason right there. That's the reason why somebody like Harbaugh is a better coach. I cannot imagine. I mean, what is it? 3 or 4 times they did it when they had James Cook, who was averaging like 8 yards per touch. But still, I mean, just give him the ball. I mean, one time. I mean, that's where I'm just thinking that Josh Allen I think literally he will put the cape on and will him as long as.
Austin, going back, if they can challenge balls and strikes and instantly figure it out, like the All-Star game last night, I think was great for it. But the NFL can plant a chip. They can figure out something. So,
it's crazy that it's taken this long. Watching Wimbledon, I've mentioned it before with tennis, but watching Wimbledon, they see Alcaraz hits a ball that's they say 5 millimeters on the line. Are you kidding me? How does the NFL, the richest sports league, this is another rant that I'll slightly digress into. How is there no pylon cam in the Bucks Falcons game? I don't remember if it was last year or 2 years ago.
Pitts
dropped the ball.
That ball was out before the end.
That was out.
Right
There's no pylon cam. Are you kidding me? How do you not have a pylon cam?
Because I kept saying cut Kyle Pitts right after that play. I was like, cut him.
Yes. Unbelievable. But anyways.
But just to go there is that okay when you're looking at the different things, the baseball strike, the soccer VAR, the Wimbledon cam, stuff like that, the ball's going and stop. When you run as a football and you whatever and it's forward motion and where your knee is, I'm sorry, it's not. I mean, they're making all these rules to make these games shorter, which I would love to have a 7-hour football game because I love football. But there is no way that they're going to put this chip in and make it all right. That's one of those things. Football will never be precise. It will never be the VAR. We can see the ball. It will never happen because you're under 42 people. I mean, the push touch is the exact. You can't tell. So just because you're moving it, when do you stop it when a whistle's blown? Well, is that the right time to whistle? Because that ball is moving like this underneath the pile, no matter what. It's impossible. So I don't know why people think all of a sudden because you put chips in balls, which you could have done 20 years ago, that it's going to make it. I think some guys, I think there was a reason, honestly, that there was the chain gang. And now all of a sudden they kind of did away with the chain gang because why? The chain was too precise. And, they were getting out there with a little thing now they're like, yep, first down here. Whoa, what do you mean? So they've actually gone the other way. The NFL has gone kind of close enough, guys, because it's so imprecise. It really is. I think we're missing the whole thing and thinking we're going to get more precise. It's going the other way.
I think that's a good comment from a coach from the Legends League, the older guys league. It's coming. It's within the next 5 years. We're going to have the automatic first downs VAR in NFL.
I do agree.
Is it going to be right?
I'll tell you one thing. I'll give baseball credit. There's such a tradition. That is a tradition-rich sport. They hang on, but the last couple of years they've embraced some stuff and sped up the game.
There is something hard.
You've got your strike zone. Boom, the pitch is thrown. It doesn't matter where the glove of the catcher is. The ball is there. So it's precise. You can figure it out.
It is very hard for in football because you're there. Like Christopher said, there's a lot of factors as far as when does forward progress stop, especially on a play like Josh Allen, reaching over the pile. Where do you say, okay, it stopped here. Where's the ball? And do you time that precise frame? And then now what they could do is maybe say, all right, they have the refs go in and determine, okay, when did forward progress stop exactly? and then say that, and then see exactly where the ball is, and then draw some kind of, in VAR, they draw those lines that have like, even when the camera angle is slightly tilted, they draw a line and then it follows that angle.
I'm thinking they could get there, but remember, this is all time. I mean, it's taken us, 4 or 5 minutes to talk about this subject.
It is
true.
true.
Can you imagine that happening 8 times during a game? I mean, you're talking about a 4-hour game then.
I could put an air tag in a football and then track it on my phone today. It's coming.
It's coming.
It could have been. I think there's a reason.
I'll get back us. I'm backing Christopher on the AFC Championship game. Bills Ravens. I mean, I hope there's like some snow coming down during the game. I mean, it's just good, in Buffalo.
Yeah.
Give me the Bills win that AFC Championship.
I'll take Ravens over Chiefs for the AFC Championship. John Harbaugh figures it out. Lamar figures it out in the playoffs. At home, beats Andy Reid, and Patrick Mahomes.
I like it. I think it's a really reasonable pick.
Yeah.
All right. NFC Championship.
I'll start.
Okay.
Again, I'm all in. So Bears over Eagles.
Love
in
it.
Chicago, we avenged the double doink from 5 years ago, which was like the start of our latest downfall. So Bears all in.
Is it going to be the Fog Bowl Part 2?
That'd be cool. Let's do a Fog Bowl then. Yeah.
I love it. Well, it makes mine seem kind of tame, but I'm going to go Washington over Tampa Bay. A repeat from a playoff game, but in the conference. And I'd love to think that Tampa could do it, but I don't think we can because our leadership, unfortunately. I hate to say that, but I see Dan Quinn, and then I see them having just the wherewithal to go gusto. And so what I saw from a first year Jaden Daniels and like you said, Rick, Dan Quinn has given that team something special, and they're making some really good off-season moves too. It's just coming, and I see Redskins over Bucks.
I like that. It's funny, you guys have mentioned a couple playoff matchups that I went the opposite direction on, because the way I set it up by like seeding and then kind of played out the games from there. I had Philly playing Chicago in the first round, and a repeat of the double doink situation with the Eagles winning. And then I had Tampa actually beating Washington, overcoming their demons in the first round, beating Washington.
Wow.
And then I have the Rams against the Eagles in the NFC Championship game. I have the Rams beating the Eagles in the NFC Championship game. So a Rams, Bills, Matt Stafford, some point in the year announces that he's retiring, and they go on a farewell tour and make it all the way to the Super Bowl.
All right. I like it.
Will we have
NFC
a fourth one?
NFC Championship game. I have Bucks and the Packers at Lambeau. I think we have 2 cold weather championship games like it should be. Todd Bowles freezes up in the cold weather, decides to kick a field goal, expecting to get the ball back. Packers win the game.
It's too realistic, Matt.
Yes.
I thought we were doing bold predictions.
Yeah.
Literally.
Give me the Packers to win the NFC Championship.
Wow.
I like it. 4 different teams. I like that. So
yeah.
So none of those teams are making the playoffs this year.
You hear I didn't say the Bucks. There we go.
Yeah.
All right. So our Super Bowl predictions.
I'll go first. I got the Bills over the Packers. I think Josh Allen wins Super Bowl MVP. It's his year. He gets married, Haley Steinfeld, and just like he's gotten in great shape this offseason. I read an article today. He cut out a couple of foods from his diet. He's just really focusing on his health. I think he's locked in, and I think he, announces he's going to Disney World, and it's going, and Bill's Mafia. There's a pizza restaurant downtown Roswell, a couple miles up the road from me. There's a Bill's Mafia. It's a Bill's Mafia pizza parlor on Sundays, and so there's going to be tables, people going through tables up there, and I may just ride up there to see it. So give me the Bills over the Packers in the Super Bowl.
I like it, Matt. I've also got the Bills over the Rams. I think everything you said. I love Josh Allen. He's one of my favorite players. He's so fun to watch. He's a bit like Baker Mayfield, and just he's got that kind of infectious energy on the field. But I think, no offense to Baker, I love him, but I think Josh Allen's a significantly better player. And yeah, I see the Bills winning the Super Bowl this year.
There you go. I'll go and leave you, Rick, with the final word. I'll go, Bills over Commanders.
Oh, no.
Yeah, we're going to jinx the heck out of them, aren't we? But I just think the idea of being able to close, the momentum in Rich Stadium will carry over to wherever the Super Bowl is now. And they won't really, I don't think they're going to feel the pressure. I think it's just going to be like, hey, this is destiny. So I think they just needed to get back to the Super Bowl, and that's because of Mahomes or Ravens or whatever that's just been keeping them. So now that once they get to that spot, I think they're just gonna go, and I think it's going to be a proverbial Super Bowl 35-10 kind of blowout.
So the Bills aren't going to make the playoffs, guys.
Basically,
I think that's what
Probably. It's like the Madden cover.
Yeah.
Right. I'm going Bears over Ravens. Jim
I
Harbaugh
love
comes
it.
back, helps the
They're
Bears.
pushing all the chips in.
Going all in. Super Bowl or bust this year. So otherwise, I'm looking for a new team.
Oh, wow.
Hey, I love the enthusiasm. I love it.
I do too. Oh man, wow. Well, that's
that would be an all-timer for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. But hey, it's not like it can't happen. I mean, literally. I mean, like Washington. I mean, pretty much. I mean, like you said, the Rams were there. Washington had knocked out Detroit. I mean, teams that have talent and have good coaches, and it's just going to be, like I said, a lot of pressure on Ben, I think. So it's just if he can just put all the pieces together, which I honestly think he can get close. That's for sure.
Bears win the Super Bowl, and the Rampage win the Brick Hat Bowl.
Wow.
There you go.
Write it down.
What about Clemson?
Cubs to win the World Series as well this year.
I mean, they got a shot.
I'm going out on a limb here. In a Reef to win the Kids League. I'm just saying this is like, it could be just a clean sweep,
I think we're gonna have that trophy for a little while here in the house. So,
yeah.
That will be good. That will be good.
All right. Y'all want to do surprising team, disappointing team?
Sounds good.
All right.
My
Go ahead, Austin.
My most surprising team, Los Angeles Rams. I think making it to the Super Bowl would be pretty surprising for them this year. Not to say that they don't have the capabilities to do so, but yeah, I think that they're gonna be. I have them as the number one seed in the NFC. Mainly is why I have them as most surprising.
I like it. My most surprising team. Give me the Carolina Panthers.
I love that. I love
the way they finished last year. I think they finished second in the division. I really do.
My God.
I mean, I think Dave Canales has got something going on up there. I mean, turned around Bryce. I think the heat's on Young, but I mean, he really came on last part of the season last year. I don't think they make the playoffs, but I wouldn't want to play them.
I totally agree with you, Matt. They sat Bryce for a couple games, and it looked like something happened, and he figured it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
Unfortunate for us.
I'll go with Miami Dolphins, kind of from the reasons I said before. Mike McDaniel as a coach, Tua, Tyreek, Jalen Waddle, Achane as running back. They just have so many weapons. They figure something out this year.
There you go.
I like it.
Okay, I'd go. Are we going we're just going for the most surprising?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you can do most disappointing as well.
Okay.
We've all done our most surprising.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. I'll say surprising. I'm gonna go all in on Jacksonville and Liam. I don't think they have a lot of expectations. I mean, I think, after the way they finished up, certainly, and I think it's going to be whether or not you've certainly got talent, and if Liam can do it with Trevor, he's certainly got the talent. I think it's just a matter of certainly making that they've got something that I think could certainly surprise a lot of people, and I think that's a good focus. I think my most disappointing team is going to be the Vikings. I know they won 14 games, and I think that JJ McCarthy, and maybe I'm wrong because I've been wrong, as we've just talked about tonight, a lot on the quarterbacks, but a quarterback from Michigan where they threw the ball maybe 6 times a game, and is going to come in here. Yeah, you've got great wide receivers, good tight end, and stuff like that, but not overly amazing quarterback, which I just don't think that they're gonna. I don't think anybody obviously had them going to the playoffs in our predictions, and so to have 14-3 last year, with honestly still, I mean, you had a Sam Darnold, he looked darn good, and so I think people are going to be like, hey, we've got this new stud, and maybe we wish we still had Sam Darnold. So.
Yeah, I like it.
I'll say disappointing team, Pittsburgh Steelers. Just with all the trades, bringing in DK, sending out Pickens, sending out Minka for a 5-year-older Jalen Ramsey, Aaron Rodgers. I love Mike Tomlin. I really do. I think he's could find a way, but there's so many negative vibes kind of with all those, and I don't see how they do it with the talent that they have. I don't think they even sniffed the playoffs this year.
I agree with you, Rick. I mean, I just think Aaron Rodgers and Arthur Smith's going to be very combustible.
Yeah.
I also have the Steelers as my most disappointing. Sorry, Christopher. Aaron Rodgers, the offensive minds around him of late, Nathaniel Hackett, Arthur Smith, hasn't been great. I don't like his attitude. I think I don't know. I'm not an Aaron Rodgers fan at all. And this whole offseason and the way he approached it, not a fan. I don't know. It's reeking of impending disaster, like a slow motion car crash. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, the Steelers, weren't they like 10-2 or something at some point last year? Like they
were actually, they were something like that. And I mean, they were rolling with a certain Justin Fields, and then they put Russell in there, and
yeah.
So I don't know. I can't see it. To me, it's just.
Well, let's
Aaron Rodgers so old.
The first Achilles game of the year, Pittsburgh at New York Jets.
I like it. I mean, the NFL scheduled it on purpose.
Yeah.
It's like an episode of Love Island. It's going to be crazy. So.
If only Pickens stayed, and they didn't trade Pickens and had Pickens, DK, and Rodgers in that locker room, that would have been
that's so much fun.
Yeah.
Well, the week 2 is Pittsburgh against Seattle, so DK gets his
revenge.
Another classic. So.
Well, I'll throw out one more disappointing team, and you guys picked them to make the playoffs. I think Washington. I think they have expectations this year. And I think it's going to be kind of a Houston thing. Like Houston came on a couple of years ago, CJ Stroud. This year, last year was Jaden Daniels. I think they have expectations. They were a cute story last year. I think teams are going to really, hey, this is an upcoming team. It's time to knock them down a little bit. And I think they won't be horrible, but I don't think they make the playoffs. I really don't.
I don't hate that pick, Matt, especially because I'm always scared of quarterbacks who run the ball a ton and their longevity. Lamar has kind of disproven that the last few years, but
and James, surprisingly, he didn't run it that much. He really didn't. I guarantee if you look at yards between Jaden Daniels and a certain Baker Mayfield, I'm not sure Baker didn't have more.
Let's see. That's actually a good point.
I just remember even in the playoff game, Baker ran. I know he ran for more. He had a big run, but I mean, Baker puts it down more than I would like to see, and tucks it under. Jaden in the game against us, the very first week when we beat him, I mean, he was running all over the place. That was his first game, and by the time he was there, he was like a pocket guy, except for to extend some plays. He just they're like you can't beat RG3 and survive in this league. You cannot, unless you're Lamar. Lamar is, just
Lamar's just he's just built differently.
He's a freak of nature. But Jaden, I think, because Jaden's much thinner built and everything, so I think he knows he can't get out there and get taken out by a Levante David. I mean, you're not going to play too many weeks doing that.
Mm-hmm.
To Matt's point too, I think the playbook for Jaden Daniels last year was really small, on purpose. Versus like the Caleb Williams, where Caleb's playbook was, for better or worse, a lot bigger. Gave Caleb a lot more options. With the like you mentioned CJ Stroud 2 years ago and kind of having a down year. I think folks are going to figure out Jaden kind of this year, kind of with that smaller playbook. Obviously, it'll get bigger, but I could certainly see that happening.
Christopher, I did look it up. Jaden Daniels ran the ball twice as much as Baker Mayfield.
For yards or just attempts?
Both.
What about
Baker actually had a higher average rush than Jaden Daniels last year, which is fascinating. Baker averaged 6.3 yards per run. Jaden Daniels averaged 6.
What were the yards? Was it like 300 yards for like 600?
It was 378 for Baker and 891 for Jaden Daniels.
Wow. Well, you can see how many.
He ran the ball a decent amount.
You're right. No, that's a lot of right. Absolutely. No, I didn't realize. I guess just because I watched I'm making conjecture from the game when in the playoff game, which he really didn't run up tons.
Yeah.
So, and by the way, in week 4, continuing our Steelers thing, Steelers play the Vikings. So we'll see which like Hindenburg hits and explodes in week 4 of the disaster teams. That's going to be great. We should just watch every week to see how the Steelers do.
Steelers need to be like, I think it was Amazon that does like they follow an NFL team around the whole season. Oh, if Amazon could get that, I would love to see that.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's crazy.
Trying to think of the teams we didn't even mention. If there's anything from like both New York teams are probably going to be really bad.
Yeah.
The Cowboys new head coach
Cowboys going to be a disaster with Schottenheimer. I mean, I heard a rumor today if Schottenheimer flames out, Jerry Jones is going to call Nick Saban, see if he'll actually come out of retirement.
I thought you were going to say Jerry Jones is going to become the new head coach.
Nick Saban, Nick Saban's not going to take that job. There's not enough.
I saw rumors today that he was thinking about going back to college.
Yeah.
No. He's going to be like a Bill Cowher.
Yeah, but I tell you, seeing him at the like game day and stuff like that, he is so over NIL and the transfer portal. I will say Saban will go to the NFL way before he'll go back to college. Because college, I mean, it's crazy. I mean, you don't like it, somebody gets in the NFL, you're gone. At least in the NFL, you've got rules, quote unquote, free agency. You can do your own trades. He can trade them. Portals, you don't get to trade the kids. It's like, sorry, I just got a phone call from Idaho. The Vandals they're gonna whatever. It's like there's no way he's going back to college. But I honestly I could see him go to a place like you get Dallas. You got some talent. You just need to get a running back and they're competing with everybody else. I mean, you get Micah and I don't know.
Yeah,
I can see that. That's not the craziest thing.
Yeah.
So, he's got an ego too. So there's something to be said about wanting to take something. I mean, look at Jerry. When Jerry took that from Miami and went up there, and so
yeah,
he's got something to prove. I mean, remember he coached in the NFL, and what happened?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. But by the way, I love now that I actually see that I can see it a little bit closer the trophy in the grasp. That's awesome. Yes, that's whose idea was
it's
that?
also marked to be an all-time jinx. So
no. So how did that come about? Maybe we can wrap it up with how did the Rampage? Was that a family thing, or is that Reagan, or the logo actually?
no, the logo. I mean, this is from the video game, so kind of
Okay.
Yeah, it's the gorilla fist punching through kind of a brick wall, if you can't see the background, and then just drop the trophy in there. So
there you go. I like it.
I like it. So if you're playing the walleye for the Georgia Conference Championship this year, I think a little side bet between you and Wayne.
let's get to the season first. Let's get our first win as a franchise.
All right.
First win over Walleye would be fantastic. Little baby steps, kind of as we're going this year. So it's definitely going to be a little different. Christopher, I'll ask you, kind of, what are you looking forward to, kind of, with a new co-owner, kind of for the first time in 23 years, 22 years.
I know. It is definitely going to be different. I think it's we're already Matt kind of threw us a curveball, although I think it was a nice thing he did to us. But he went number 3. I know he's got a good strategy for that. So now we're trying to figure out the number 2 pick, and so it's literally we'll be driving someplace or walking the dog, and it's like it goes to who's going to be number 2, and so we banter back, and so we actually coached last year together when we did the Fan of the Year league. There was a 10-team Fan of the Year for the NFL, and we participated in that, and Samantha and I did that together, and it was fun because we would go down and try to figure out, and we got into the championship game and because that's why I cringed, Matt, we made the switch. We had I think we had Denver's as our defense, whatever, but we went smart and we picked up the Indianapolis Colts going against the Giants, and we lost by 4. We lost 138 to 134, and our Colt defense got -6.
Yeah, they had a bad week.
If we hadn't played a defense, we would have won the championship. So to go back to yours, Rick, I think we kind of gelled in there, and I think she's officially kind of taken off the reins of, you can't draft such and such because Jordan Addison, because he's got a pending suspension or whatever. That was my whole thing. I was like, we just can't have those. That's the real world. We play in fantasy, so I know they might not be all the best players on the Heroes, but so we'll see. We'll see how it goes, but we're kind of, like I said, it'll be fun because we'll be over in France trying to get some decisions made.
So I looked it up.
Go ahead,
the
Austin.
Rampage play the Walleye week 1.
I was about to say that.
No
really?
way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was about ready to say that.
Yeah.
No way.
And Christopher, guess who the new Heroes play?
Oh.
The Riot Squad.
No.
Yeah. So
oh my gosh.
we got some good games week 1, and Matt's going to be up against the Head Knockers.
There you go.
I like it.
Wow. All right, it's on.
I love how back in the day when we used to do more write-ups and stuff like that, but definitely a game of the week. Yeah, definitely the expansion, quote unquote, Rampage, but having them against the Walleye. Oh my gosh. I'm sure that's going to be the Monday night game. So that's
I think the NFL schedule makers made that happen.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Do we have any fun week 13 ones you can throw out? That's
let's see. I play Steven week 13.
Ooh. It's always usually those classics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Rampage actually play the Bandits week 13. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Easy.
Well, Clemson kind of.
Y'all get the Terrors week 13. You get John and Kelly, Christopher.
Hey, it's funny because there's 2 husband and wife teams, so that's.
Yeah. You have the BKF the week before that, so to get into the playoffs, you're going to have to go through Matt and then my dad and Kelly.
defending
BFFL
champ.
championship participants last year.
Yeah.
Man. Oh, geez, and that's not nice on the playoff or opportunities. Yeah, well.
Week 7 is the former heroes battle, the Rampage against the heroes.
There you go. Week
Would
7.
you be on a plane at that time, Christopher?
What's that?
Will you be on a plane that week, week 7?
I might just be. I don't know. We're leaving October 28th, so we made sure that we left on a Tuesday just in case there was an important Monday night. So
that's
the week before.
Oh, the week before.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
That's the Christopher's new draft strategy is going to be no players with buys in week 7. Everyone's playing that week.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's going to be wild. That will be good.
That'll definitely Rampage versus Walleye will be the highlight of week 1. I can't wait.
That definitely will. Although, and maybe we can end this on this note, the actual Saturday lineup. I mean, I know we have, not that we need excitement with our paper football and all of our fun stuff, but they actually have an amazing lineup of college football games on Saturday. It's
really?
It is. Well,
Texas at Ohio State,
Wow.
FSU and Bama, and then you also have LSU and Clemson. So,
wow.
Yep. LSU and Clemson, Alabama, Florida State, Utah, UCLA. Yeah, I mean it's crazy. There's from like 12, so there's like an impetus, and then 3:30 Alabama, Florida State. So that's when kind of the afternoon kicks off. So
yeah. Did you hear Brian Kelly said about Clemson? He was like, "We're letting them borrow Death Valley, the name Death Valley."
Did you hear Devil's response?
No.
Devil's like, "I don't care. That's all noise." You know, our new coordinator, defensive coordinator, it's all noise to me. So Clemson's locked in. Brian Kelly can talk as much as he wants.
Oh.
So that's an exact response I'd like to hear from Clemson.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like it.
Well, I will tell you, I think somebody's like Von Miller just signed Commanders. I tell you, they're making some off-season moves, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
I tell you, my Super Bowl pick there. That's scary.
Lock it in now, Von Miller.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, I'm assuming you're at least going to put $100 on the Bears, just because you don't want to see them actually win and not make any money from it. That's.
It's not about money, Christopher. I will put money on the Rampage beating the Walleye week 1, though.
Woohoo!
So,
well, if Wayne, you're still watching.
Yeah, if Wayne makes it 2 hours in, $100 win.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Let's do it.
No doubt. All right.
That's awesome. All right, we'll wrap it up. Hope everybody enjoyed.
Yeah.
The podcast.
Rick,
here.
Tell Reagan we appreciate her on camera. That was awesome. So.
Yeah. No, thanks for having me. This was great. So looking forward to it. Feel very honored to have the Rampage franchise. So looking forward to the draft and what Austin, you said 6 weeks. So
something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll be sending out an email about some of where we were just talking about some of the activities. So
yes, 6.5 weeks.
Nice.
So that'll be coming out soon. So looking forward to seeing you guys.
All right.
Awesome.
And
have a good night.
We're off. We're out. Stop.